Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that prehistoric animals died for. They must be rolling in their graves. My name's Matthew Donald. In each episode, I and a rotating set of co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week, I'm joined by one of my best friends, and he's a big gamer, a big dinosaur nerd, and occasionally we force him to write stuff. It's Lawrence Mack.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Yeah. You're doing well, I hope?
Oh, yeah, doing good.
That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, we're happy to have you aboard the show.
Oh, yeah, happy to be here.
I always like to start with, a different question related to dinosaurs. So I'm going to ask you, the first one I usually ask people, and I'll ask you it today. What is your favorite dinosaur, and why?
Favorite dinosaur, easy hands down, Pachycephalosaurus.
Oh, really? Because you're both numbskulls? You're both big-headed.
Let's say thick-headed, maybe.
Yeah, thick-headed, yeah.
so much bone up here, there's not very much room for brains.
Yeah, you both got cue ball heads.
Yeah.
You look at you're bald, see? You gotta know.
Right? It might be my hair's already starting to
oh,
recede.
no!
You know?
The woes of growing up.
Some of the Pachycephalosaurus, the dinosaurs have the spike structure around the edge of their head.
Oh, that'll be
Kind
you.
of reminds me of how people have just the hair going around the back of their head.
The woes of senescence. Huh? Okay, so well, why is that one your favorite?
Oh, I'm honestly not sure. It's just always been my favorite. I've always liked the look of it.
Yeah.
Their behavioral patterns they're kind of reminiscent of like deer and things.
Yeah,
like elk, their battles,
and
and all
for
that.
mates and such. Yeah,
yeah. And it's kind of it's a popular enough dinosaur that people kind of know what it is. Generally.
Yeah, like it was in Lost World, and and it's been some other stuff.
Yeah.
According to Horner, or I think Stygimoloch and Dracorex might be baby versions of it, which I don't think they are because their head structures are a lot different.
Right, yeah.
Plus, don't get rid of Dracorex Hogwartsia. Like, that's the Harry Potter dinosaur. You're not using that species name and just throwing it away.
Right, no, absolutely not. You gotta keep it.
Exactly. Alright, so that sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on, and we'll hope to have you on a couple more times. So, today we are talking about a classic. An absolute classic. The Citizen Kane of dinosaurs. It's just as long and boring, right? I know, it's pretty good. It's Apatosaurus, aka the Deceptive lizard.
Ah, one with the first drama brought into the paleo world.
Oh, yep, and we're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
It is a diplodocid sauropod.
Nice.
Which are the ones with, the long necks and long tails and sort of shorter front legs.
Yeah.
Obviously, based on its name, Diplodocus, or
right.
Diplodocus, as some people say, which I usually say too, but I kind of like to word things out differently. I don't know why.
I always said Diplodocus myself.
Diplodocus?
But I always like to hear when people say Diplodocus.
Diplodocus.
It kind of sounds cool to listen to.
Diplodocus. It's like smooth silk.
Right.
It is 70 feet / 21 meters long.
Okay.
And anywhere, it's hard to tell with weight, but if it's probably anywhere from 20 to 40 tons.
Oh, okay, so that's pretty comparable to where I'm at right now.
Nice. Me too. Just give me a couple burgers, and I'll be right up there with you. A couple big multi-ton burgers.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Apatosaurus and I would drive through the drive-thru at Sonic and get a nice chili cheese dog.
I'll have an Apatosaurus, a patty.
A patty, yeah.
It's a Bronto burger. Everyone says Bronto burger. Do a Apatosaurus, a patty.
Yeah, exactly. I think that fits even better.
Yeah. Anyways, it's an herbivore, as if you didn't know.
As we're talking about it, eating a patty. A veggie patty, maybe.
Yeah, it's true. It's like one of those impossible burgers that have been going around lately.
It's impossible for a Apatosaurus to eat a patty.
Oh, no. How poor dinosaur.
Right?
Anyways.
So sad.
Alright, lived in the Late Jurassic, 152 to 151 million years ago. It was from Colorado.
Oh,
so that's
right
nice.
on.
Right here at home.
It's probably a Broncos fan, I hope.
It better be, right?
Right?
Oh, wait, no, that would be the Bronchosaurus.
Bronchosaurus, there we go.
Instead of... Brontosaurus was a fan, because it was like, yeah, I'm a Bronchosaurus.
Right, exactly. It just, had that equestrian shape.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
The horse-shaped head. It's about the same size as a horse head, I think, too. So.
Right, yes, there you go.
So anyways, it was described in 1877. Pop culture appearances, a lot.
Right.
Land Before Time is probably the best known version.
Oh man, I miss watching that show.
It's on the first one's on Netflix, I believe.
Oh, it is?
I watched it recently. It holds up. It's pretty dramatic. Like, I'd forgotten how dramatic it was. Like,
Right.
I knew that Littlefoot's mother died, obviously. I remembered
Yeah.
that, and that was pretty early on. But I had forgotten that, like, for about 20 minutes afterwards, it's just Littlefoot sulking.
Yeah, just all by himself.
Like, he doesn't really meet up with the gang until a little bit later, after, like, the rest of the
Yeah.
group. Yeah.
Before he finds what's it, the Valley? What was it called?
The Great Valley.
Great
yeah.
Valley,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
so...
gonna cry when I watch it.
Oh, no, it's sad. Especially that part when he sees that his shadow, and it's really big, and he thinks it's his mother.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was really good.
Yeah. I've mentioned this in another episode, I think, but I'm going to say it here again. Land Before Time is actually pretty good with dinosaur accuracy. Not so much in terms of all the different dinosaurs from being different time periods coming in,
Right.
but it was good at, like, the dinosaurs it did depict, it depicted them fairly accurately. Like,
Nice.
Land Before Time is the first dinosaur movie where the long-neck dinosaurs correctly keep their tails raised above the ground at all times. Because before then, they thought like other films depict them as like dragging on the ground, because that's the old-timey way of doing
Right.
it. But Land Before Time was the first to do that correctly.
Interesting. What movie? Like, what are older movies? Like,
Well,
I
like
can't even think of them.
1 million years BC, like those stop-motion ones. Lost
yeah.
World,
Yeah. Okay.
The one where you see the stock footage of it fighting the T-Rex, and with the snake-like head.
Okay. Yeah. No, I remember that one. Interesting.
It's also in The Lost World, the old version, speaking of which.
Oh, okay. Well.
It was in Fantasia.
It was in Fantasia?
Yes, it was. There's like a bunch of different dinosaurs in Fantasia.
Do I not remember that part of Fantasia?
You remember the dinosaur part?
I don't remember the dinosaur part.
There was a big dinosaur part!
Oh my goodness. See, this is where I really like to go back to that Pachycephalosaurus thing. That little brain. I don't have space to remember things. So
Right, exactly.
I forget it all.
No, there was a big dinosaur part. It was the Rite of Spring sequence, because it was...
Rite of Spring.
That's like a music that played. At first it showed the Earth in like the pre-Cambrian, where it was all volcanoes and such, and the music played with the volcanoes erupting.
Yeah.
And then the Earth cooled, and then it showed like the different creatures, and it was really cool as it shows the dinosaur's death, but since it was in 1940, it didn't the theory with the meteor hadn't been proposed yet. So it was depicted as like this big drought where they all just kind of like wallowed in the mud and wandered with like in the dirt, and there was nothing there. It was really sad.
Starved.
Yeah, it was really sad, but
Interesting. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
yeah, it's pretty good. Also, it was from Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. That's the one that you might have seen stock footage where it like attacks a city.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And many, many, many more. Funnily enough, it wasn't in the Jurassic Park series until Jurassic World.
Really, it wasn't?
No. Because the first movie had Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, I remember it was Brachiosaurus, that whole Sam Neill moment taking off his sunglasses.
Right. The second movie had a brief cameo of Mamenchiosaurus.
Oh, really?
During the motorcycle and the chase scene. Like,
yeah.
the motorcycle drives but underneath its legs.
Oh, that's what that was? Okay.
That was a Mamenchiosaurus,
okay,
yeah.
Nice.
And then Jurassic Park 3 has just Brachiosaurus again.
Yeah.
So Apatosaurus was first introduced in the series in Jurassic World.
Interesting.
Which is kind of funny.
Right on. Did it sneeze on anybody?
Not that I recall. No.
It was just eaten by the
It was just eaten.
Indominus.
Yep. I thought, it was the one that got killed by the Indominus.
Yeah, there was a whole field of them.
Yeah,
right?
they all got killed.
Yeah, that was sad.
Anyways, so, Apatosaurus. Discovered and described by Othniel Charles Marsh, a name you will undoubtedly hear on the show very often, as he was one of the two guys in the Bone Wars.
Bone Wars.
Back in the 1800s, where they discovered a bunch of species that were fighting with each other. Discover a bunch.
Yeah.
The other person was Edward Drinker Cope.
Is that the guy who discovered termed Brontosaurus?
I'm not sure. I think it was Othniel Charles Marsh, actually. No, I think I've gotten into hear who it is. But Othniel Charles Marsh, their rivalry was so strong that Othniel Charles Marsh named coprolites after Edward Drinker Cope as a dig,
That's awesome.
So, it was based on a skeleton discovered in Gunnison County, Colorado. You know where that is?
Gunnison County?
Gunnison County, yeah.
Gunnison?
I don't know. Gunosun.
Is that the Russian Colorado?
It's in Gunosun
In
County.
Russian Colorado, we pronounce it Gunnison.
In Russian Colorado, dinosaurs dig up you. Okay.
Gunnison, Colorado. That's up in the mountains. My uncle actually lives there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Your uncle's an Apatosaurus? Guess it makes sense since you're one, too, apparently.
I mean, he's old enough. Did I say that out loud?
At least he went to school with some, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably. I think he had a pet Stegosaurus at some point.
Nice. So speaking of... I don't know what I'm speaking of. That's not a good segue. They hatched from eggs the size of soccer balls and grew very, very fast, reaching adult sizes within 10 years based on microscopic studies, which is pretty dang fast.
Yeah, no kidding.
There are many, many species within the Apatosaurus genus. Like, many, like dozens. I don't know if there's that many. I don't know.
Dozens, hundreds, couple.
Thousands, billions. Years ago, the genus was a synonym of the formerly dubious Brontosaurus. Since originally they found a skeleton with they think it was a Camarasaurus head nearby, and thought they were the same animal, as things were rushed in the heat of the bone wars between Marsh and his rival, as the aforementioned Edward Ricker Cope. However, the mistake was found, and they used the name described first, Apatosaurus, rendering the name Brontosaurus as a junior synonym, and therefore discarding it from formal use. However, the plot thickens, though.
Dun dun dun.
As in 2015, a study done by Emmanuel Schopp. Okay, how do you pronounce this? Tshopp.
Oh my gosh, where are you at?
Right here, sorry.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah.
Chop.
Emmanuel Chop.
Chop.
Chop. Anyway.
Or maybe it's kind of like the, pterodactyl.
So that would make it even more confusing. It was PTSCH. I'm like, too many consonants.
Too many. Okay. I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah, see, look at this. There's already 7 letters, and only one of them is a vowel. All right, Octavio Madius or Madius. What is with these? I'm sure these are normal names in other countries, but for us dumb Americans, they seem so weird.
Either that, or it's just people with weird names to get into liking dinosaurs more.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
I mean, you like dinosaurs.
I'm Matt Hall, though. That's the most normal name. Okay, I go by Matthew Donald to try and add some flair to it. That's my middle name, but yeah, my birth name is Matthew Hall. So.
There'd be some German guy reading about your accomplishments later, and he's like, how do you pronounce it? Donald? Donalde.
Multe. And Roger Benson, they concluded that Brontosaurus was a valid genus, as they figured out how to more objectively pick out the differences between found fossils and species, meaning the name Brontosaurus could be structured as a valid and usable name. Then they assigned 2 species in the Apatosaur genus into the new genus Brontosaurus. Personally, I think this was all just due to nostalgia and people refusing to get over the name Brontosaurus that they heard since they were kids. But what do I know? I'm no paleontologist.
So they discovered another new species and just used the old Brontosaurus name on it?
No, they used so like Apatosaurus had a bunch of different species. They just used they just reassigned 2 of them to become Brontosaurus.
Interesting.
And I just think it's all a bit convenient, you know? Like, it's,
right.
Like, next thing you know, scientists in a couple decades are going to be like, oh, you know, there's certain differences, but, like, undetermined differences between planets, planetoids, and other objects. Therefore, Pluto can be considered a planet again. It's the same sort of thing.
Right? I mean, it's a giant ball in space. I mean, not so giant, but, you know, big enough to...
About as big as an Apatosaurus.
Right? See?
That's...
If Apatosaurus can be a dinosaur, Pluto deserves to be a planet. Come on.
I mean, Apatosaurus is a dinosaur. Well, not Brontosaurus is, though. Is the...
Right, yeah. Is Brontosaurus a dinosaur?
Are we dinosaurs?
Well, I mean... You know, I do that scale.
It sounds like some sort of wise Zen saying. In a way, we are all dinosaurs.
Let's go to some, you know, Buddhist monk place and just meditate for a while. Then you wake up.
I am one with the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are one with me. So now we're up to everyone's favorite part of the show, except, I don't know, because I haven't released any yet, I'm still recording all of them. I'm going to assume it's everyone's favorite part of the show.
That's my favorite part of the show.
Oh yeah, do you even know what it is?
No, I don't. But the anticipation's got me.
We're rating the animal 1 out of 65 million.
Ah, ooh. 1 out of 65 million.
Yep.
That's,
for whatever reason we like personal preference, fun quirks, ranking in the food chain, and so on. I know when I was with a friend of the show, Christina, and her there goes the refrigerator.
Yep. That would come back on.
Maybe I'll edit that seamlessly, and then I can edit this out. Anyways,
hopefully.
My friend of the show, Christina, and her husband Jake were on. Jake rated out several factors, like an RPG, like mana, and strength, agility, intelligence. But
do you calculate an overall rate?
Yeah,
after
magic.
All that too?
Also, he had sexiness factor.
I mean,
Apatosaurus had long legs.
People have their kinks.
Long swan-like neck.
Right, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Plenty of room for like a nice necklace or something.
Yeah, or like 100 necklaces all throughout the different
part of the necklace. See?
Yeah.
It's a fashion statement.
I can imagine like a necklace. If you want to be really sexy, it has the heart of the ocean on it. And it's kind of draped over as someone's sketching it on the Titanic, right?
See, there you go.
Okay.
And then, Jack's wearing it and he falls into the ocean, and Jack's really just a Apatosaurus.
It's true. Jack fell in the ocean. He's gonna get fossilized down there.
Right? So, water fossilizes
really
well.
So future generations will find Jack and be like, dinosaur!
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna rate it. It's a classic, but other than it being a classic, I don't think there's really anything that notable about it, so I'm gonna give it like 45 million.
45 million?
Yeah.
Not even billion? Wait, it's just millions.
It's what?
65 million.
Okay. Out of 65 million, because dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. Right. Except they actually died 66 million years ago, based on geology. But 65 is the one everyone knows.
Right? Give or take a million at this point. Once you got 65 of them.
Weather people can't even predict the weather. How can we even expect people to know when or where a meteor hit?
Exactly.
Where is pretty obvious.
65 apples, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
It's like, is this 64 or 66? I just can't.
Who knows? I'm thinking about that. Like, it's got a good nostalgia factor. Had that, early on name drama kind of stuff going on.
I guess it's true. There's a whole history with it. So.
Right. But I was always more partial to Brachiosaurus myself,
okay.
especially when it sneezed on those kids in that park.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So I'd probably do. So I really like the number 50. It's one of my favorite numbers, so I almost feel bad doing it 50. So maybe I'll do 49 million.
49 million. Okay. All right, you heard it here. All right, so that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the podcast, you can email me at mattd@matthewdonaldcreator.com. And you can find me on social media at Matthew Donald Creator on Facebook, at Matthew Donald 64 on Twitter, and Matthew Donald 64 on Instagram. You can contact me or any of our guest hosts through this email if you want, and say like, Lawrence, how big really are you? Does the ground shake when you? Because you said you were the size of the Apatosaurus, right?
Yep. So, I did say that.
Yeah.
And,
so
the foundation of my house is currently sinking, and we're pretty sure that's just because of my walking back and forth.
Oh no!
Remember that earthquake? That
was you.
Yeah, that was me. I fell down the steps.
Oh no! That's no good. You should have security people just watching you at all times.
Right. But the only problem is a huge hazard to their health, and I don't make enough money to be able to pay them.
Oh no. Okay. Well, so I also, if you listeners are interested in writing, I have another podcast called The Ritwit, where two twits talk about writing. The current other twit, he is not present, although maybe I can convince him to come in for a couple episodes. I've been thinking about it. Figure out a way to get him to do it. Even though he said, like, no, I'm not going to do your dumb dinosaur podcast. I'm going to be like, no, but I have my ways.
True. And see, dinosaurs are only done because of their brain size.
So he can relate.
They're not cool.
That's true.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
But being a twit, I'm not sure how cool he really is.
I don't know. He's all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, also I have a book series on Amazon, Megazoic. It's a dinosaur sci-fi.
Shocked.
Whoa! I know, right? So yeah, if you're interested, buy it, review it. Support my work. Or don't, live your life. All right.
I would definitely suggest it. It's a good series.
All right, so that's it. And as we do at the end of every episode, we kind of do our best little dinosaur noises. And since dinosaurs don't think roared, so I just do ee, ee.
Can I do like a flapping kind of sound? Use my feathers. No, I guess I was a wolf. I don't know. There were probably wolves back then.
I mean, not during dinosaur times, but there were prehistoric wolves. We can cover those in other episodes.
Right? See, there we go.
Yeah.
Close enough.
All right.